Hello everyone, bonjour! How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. For our Easter holidays, we decided to visit one of the most beautiful villages in France. So, come along, on y va!
I wonder what it is. It must be like a monastery or... It looks like a prison?
Now we are on this beautiful road in the Pyrenees Mountains, a natural border between Spain and France. So after about 4 hours of driving, we're here. It has been a beautiful drive so far. We'll be staying at the hamlet of l'Hospitalet in Rocamadour. Hello guys! So andito na tayo sa ating hotel dito sa Rocamadour. At ayan siya. And sunset na, mamadali na tayo dahil actually 9 o'clock na and magsasara na yung mga restaurants, kaya kailangan nating pumunta sa village para makakain tayo. Ayan, so we're here in our hotel, Hostellerie Bellevue. We can park our car in the station outside or behind the hotel. Let's check out the view. Wow. They have a restaurant too. Can have dinner here.
Merci. It's gonna be a huge amount of meat.
Back here in our hotel room. We're just gonna have to rest now so that we can wake up early tomorrow. Hopefully we can go out to the village. I think it's about 13 minutes walk from here, but I just wanted to show you the room because I forgot to take a video because we were so hungry when we got off the car. So here's our room for tonight. Pretty good value. And this is the bathroom. It's quite spacious in here. There's a toilet. And this is the best. Like, you get a really good view of the village right here. Good morning everyone. We're having such a lovely view on a Good Friday, and as we make our way down, I just love how the village unfolds beneath us. Wow, just look at this view. Welcome to Rocamadour, my friends. From here, the village looks tucked away in this beautiful area called Coste Kelsey Regional Natural Park. It is built into the cliffs, almost like a vertical village with buildings constructed directly into the rock face overlooking the Alzou River Valley. Rocamadour is divided into 3 levels that used to reflect medieval society. The lower level was for lay people, and it's where we are now with its main pedestrian street lined with charming medieval houses, quaint shops, souvenir items, restaurants, and cafes. Then on the second level are the religious sanctuaries that has made this village into one of the most important pilgrimage sites in France. And on the top level is the Chateau with its medieval fortifications built to protect the sanctuaries and the village down below. We'll get into the legends, the saints, and that incredible fortress at the top a bit later, but first, let's go on a peaceful morning walk before the crowd comes in.
That's for sale. Such a cute house. That's the town hall. No, it's not a hotel. It's the town hall. No. That looks yummy.
This sandwich is a bit too much for me to eat for breakfast. However, this is made of Rocamadour cheese. It's a soft and pasteurized cheese with a mild, slightly tangy taste. The limestone plateaus and herb-rich grasslands in this region give the milk a unique flavor. Rocamadour cheese is made exclusively from alpine and Saanen goats raised locally, and it dates back to medieval times.
We finished already.
Now that we have seen all the original gates of the village, let's head towards the mysterious sanctuaries above us. As you know, we have visited other beautiful villages before, and they normally have winding streets and hidden alleyways. However, Rocamadour only has this one street, Rue de la Coronerie. At the end of the street, we arrive at the grand staircase, but just in case you're unable to climb up, you can find this lift near the Port Salmon.
So we're going up the steps now.
Do you know how many steps these are? 216. Oh, what is that? The Sportel. The Sportel. Yeah, it is a cute garden.
It appears we were looking at different things, but anyway, the Sportel is a lead or tin medallion inscribed with the words, "The Seal of the Blessed Mary of Rocamadour." Visitors would sew this badge onto their clothing, signifying their pilgrim status, often granting them passage in conflict zones.
And this is Saint-Jacques.
So a lot of pilgrims have stopped over here on their way to Santiago de Compostela in Spain to visit the sacred tomb of Saint Jacques or Saint James. It's a long way from France, and the journey is filled with danger. And you can tell why pilgrims needed some sort of protection or safe conduct from the Sportel.
Let's check out the view in here. It's a bit windy. And you can see the town down there, it's so nice. Oh no! Oh, okay. I just can't get enough of this view. This town, and that's the tower we just went through. It's part of the church, I think. Not sure. Okay, let's move on. Okay, it's getting a bit warm because we're going up, but I'm so glad it's a nice spring day. Merci, merci. It's like a thank you or something. Merci. For our baby, that said it out.
And here we are at the sanctuary of Rocamadour, surrounded by 7 chapels and 1 basilica, each of them with their own story to tell. These are all set dramatically into the cliffside and form the core of Rocamadour's spiritual and architectural heritage. The name Rocamadour is steeped in legend, mystery, and medieval devotion. A hermit named Amador, often identified with Zacchaeus from the Bible, fled persecution in the Holy Land and arrived in this remote area of France. He settled in a cave in the cliff and lived a life of prayer and devotion, possibly carving out the early chapel dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Centuries later, his miraculously preserved body was discovered during construction work near the chapel. This discovery sparked mass pilgrimages, and the site became known as Rocamadour, meaning Rock of Amador in his honor. While the legend of Amador is powerful and spiritually meaningful, most historians agree it was likely crafted or embellished in the 12th century to elevate Rocamadour's status as a holy site. Just under this basilica is the crypt of Saint Amador. Constructed between the 11th and 13th centuries, the Basilica of the Holy Savior is a fine example of Romanesque and Gothic architectural fusion. This section tells the story of the sailors of Boulogne. Once they were sailing on stormy seas, and in their anguish, they cried out to the Virgin of Rocamadour. Immediately, the air becomes serene, the rage of the wind subsides, and they arrive to port.
Look at those things.
Perfectly preserved on the northern exterior wall of the Chapel of St. Michael are these 12th century frescoes depicting central events in the life of the Virgin Mary. Our next stop is the Chapel of the Virgin of Rocamadour. But did you notice something above it? Yep, there it is. According to legend, King Charlemagne received this sword called Durandal from an angel. Then he gave it to his nephew, the paladin Roland. As Roland faced defeat at the Battle of Roncevaux Pass, he tried to destroy the sword to prevent its capture, but it was impossible. So he hurled it into the air, and as if guided by the hand of God, it landed in Rocamadour, embedding itself into the cliffside. To add to the drama, the sword was stolen in June 2024. The stolen sword was just a copy of a copy, and so nobody really knows what happened to the original sword, or if there ever was a real one. At the entrance is an interesting medieval fresco, La Danse Macabre, or the Dance of Death. The skeletons lead individuals in a dance toward the grave, symbolizing the universality and inevitability of death. At the heart of this sanctuary stands the Black Madonna, a 12th century wooden statue said to have been carved by Saint Amador himself. Now let's go to another chapel, originally dedicated to King Louis IX, who made the pilgrimage to Rocamadour in 1244. In 2011, the chapel was rededicated to rugby players. I know that it seems like we've covered a lot of history, but we've barely scratched the surface here. This has been a long video, so thank you so much for being with me. Now it's time to go up the castle through this beautiful path called the Way of the Cross. At the start of this walk, you will find this, and you can donate €1, then hammer a nail into the post for trip protection.
Yep, this is the way to the castle.
That's the first elevator.
That's the lift. It wasn't so bad, the price.
$4.30 to the top.
Yeah, and that's like two-way, right?
No, it's one way.
Oh.
It is the Holy Week, so I sort of felt like a pilgrim walking this path. There are 14 stations of the cross, reenacting the Passion of Christ from condemnation to burial.
Okay, we're just at the third. The last one. Super pretty. How much? €2. Not bad. Let's go in.
Despite being a castle, the Chateau de Rocamadour was never a royal palace or feudal seat.
Ready? Go.
We are inside. Okay, we're going up.
The castle served to protect pilgrims visiting the sacred site during times of conflict, especially during wars and invasions like the 100 Years' War.
You can even see the stations of the cross, like some of them. Wow, it's so beautiful. And then there's that place we stayed in last night, L'Hospitalet. there's a little balcony in here. Getting some heights in here. So we're walking on top of the chateau. Some parts of it are private. But it's really nice here, like the view is incredible. It's so nice. It looks like a watchtower. Maybe. Oh, there's a river. So nice. And there's that watermill.
Perhaps the thing I like the most about Rocamadour, despite historical inconsistencies and exaggerations, is that it offers deep insights into how faith, geography, and storytelling shaped medieval identity. The legends of Rocamadour hold deep spiritual and cultural truth for many. Let's go down. This is the Porte Saint. In Catholic tradition, passing through this holy door represents leaving behind sin and entering into God's mercy. Before leaving, we bought a baguette and looked for some olive oil to go with it. We'll try this olive oil with black truffles, a delicacy in this region. The black winter truffle that grows here is often called the black diamond due to its rarity and value. And now it's time to say goodbye to Rocamadour. Our next destination is Loire, France, a magical area nicknamed the Valley of the Kings. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourself. I will see you very, very soon. Bye!